Hey guys, welcome back again, Ends Fishing Adventures. The RP knot, Royal Polaris knot. This is a knot that I use for tying your bite trace to your mono before you go to your swivel. Pretty simple knot and pretty strong. I use it for my tiger fishing trace and for all my float fish traces. There are other knots that you can use, but I lean on this one. I'm pretty confident in it. I haven't had it ever give up as yet. So yeah, I will give you a little rundown through it and show you how to do it, and hopefully I'm able to help some of you with a slightly simpler knot, or yeah, maybe just something that you can put into your arsenal for your terminal tackle. I'm also going to show you how I snell the hooks, and if you're doing a normal nylon trace for your flatfish, I will show you how I do the figure of 8 onto the shank for the circle hooks, just to make sure that you get your hook set right. Stuff that I'm going to use for this will be a 150-pound bite trace, 0.60 Kingfisher leader line. I've got, this is a 9.0 circle hook. This is a 7.0 or 8.0 circle hook, I think. Sorry, this is a 6.0. 6.0, and then I've got a swivel. You're going to need some side cutters and some trusty scissors, anything that works well with your nylon or your braid or whatever. These are the ones that I fish with all the time. Okay guys, so let's get going. I will show you how I do the figure of 8 onto the circle hook. This is just for a normal nylon trace if you aren't going to put a bite trace on in case those toothy critters are around. Basically what you want to do is you take your mono and you push it through the front of the eye, as you can see. Bring yourself enough tag end. The reason you're coming through the front is because it completes the circle on the hook. So your nylon's coming in, and then when your nylon pulls, it'll make sure that the hook set is correct. I'll try and show you when we're done. Okay, so basically you got a nice tag end. What I do now is I wrap it around my finger 1, 2, 3 times. Then I pull the loops off of my finger. I come in through the front and down, and you pull your figure of 8 up onto the shank, wet it up nicely, and there's your figure of 8 done. So it's almost like snelling. I just find this works nice and quick for your nylons. Then cut your tag end off, and there you have it. So you can see the lines coming out the front of the eye there. You can see the lines, sorry, the focus isn't working so great. But you can see the lines coming out the front of the eye. So basically what that does now is if the fish bites into the hook, when the line's coming out, because you've completed that circle, it's going to make sure that your circle hook is going to hook into the corner of their mouth as best as possible. So you do your same concept when you do your bite trace, when you snell it. Okay, so that's your figure of 8 onto your hook shank. Alright, to snell a hook, I'm sure some of you have seen this before. I'm sure some of you know how to do it. Basically, what I do, again, like I said, 150-pound bite trace, come in through the front of the hook once again. You press your tag end down, and what I do is I wrap around 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right guys, so you've wrapped around 5 times, you're holding it down, you bring your tag end through the back of the hook eye and you pull this up nice and tight. Once you've got that up nice and tight, you should be able to see, let me try and get it to focus for you. You've got your 5 turns. I don't know, I can't really see the camera properly, I'm hoping you guys can see it, but you've got your 5 turns, then you've come in through the back of the eye, and then your bite traces going up towards your main line now. That isn't the end of it though. What you need to do now is you then hook your hook onto something nice and tight. I don't know if you can see this. And then because it's got a plastic coating on, what I do is I just heat the plastic coating up a little bit so it bonds together nicely and it stops your wraps from coming loose. So that should mold up quite nicely again. Again, like I said, I use this method for my tiger fishing as well as all the flatfish, etc, etc. Okay, so once you've got that done, what you want to do now is you want to cut this little tag end off here. I leave about 4 mils or so, and that is basically your hook snelled. So now what you want to do is you want to get your piece of mono on. My bite trace I generally do about 400 mils, 300 to 400 mils if you're going to be going for like your rays or whatever, but you worry there's maybe the odd grey shark or something around, then I do about 300 to 400 mils. That should be plenty. So now what we want to do is we want to do the Royal Polaris knot now. So you take your bite trace, you bend your bite trace in half so it gives you a nice loop, as you can see there. I've got a nice loop. From there you take your monofilament, you come in from underneath the loop. I do quite a bit of a tag end, and you want them to be basically in line with one another. So you've come in from underneath, you're pinching it in between your fingers. So then what you need to do is you now need to take this tag end and you need to wrap this tag end around your bite trace as well as your monofilament that has gone through. I go around 4 times. 1, 2, 3. I've gone around 4 times now. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky now. So now what you need to do is your previous line came in from underneath. So you want your tag end to come out the opposite side of where your line was going into the loop. So you come in from underneath, you pull it up so it splits into a V, if that makes sense. Then what I do is I pull all 4 tag ends, pull it up nicely, wet it up nicely, and there we are. Royal Polaris knot done. Then from that what you do is you clip off your bite trace tag end. Again I leave about 4 to 5 mils. You clip off your monofilament tag end. I leave about 2 to 3 mils on that. And there you have your RP knot. Like I said, I haven't had one of these fail on me yet. It's pretty strong, as you can see, pretty simple and versatile. You can use it on any fishing really. Okay, so that's basically your Snelling and then your RP knot. I then do about 300 mils of nylon, and you take a swivel. This, if I remember correctly, was a 4 or 5, number 4 number 5 size swivel. Put your line through and you do a basic figure of 8 once again. So you 1, 2, 3 loops, come in through the back, wet it up nicely, pull it up, tag end off, and there we go, guys. That's the bite trace that I use for my flatfish, rays, sandies, yeah, grey sharks. I got a grey shark on it the other day. You saw my previous video. Exactly the same trace. The honeycombs and sandies that have been caught before, I tied it the exact same way. So yeah, that's how I would do a bite trace. For your other sharks and stuff, when you're going bigger, if you're targeting sharks, you'll do full metal jackets, which I will do other videos on those at a later stage. But for now, this is the trace I've been using on a daily basis. Obviously, if you went the full mono like we initially tied in the beginning, your line would just go straight to a swivel at about 500 to 600 mils, and then that would go onto your main line, sliding trace, fixed trace, whichever you decide. So guys, that's it. I hope it was informative, and I hope I have helped you guys understand the knots a little bit better. Please feel free to like, subscribe and share, and please put a comment if you need me to redo something for you, or if there's any other knots you maybe want to see. It's a learning curve. We all work together and we unify, and yeah, we get down to the beach and we have fun. So hopefully, like I said, I'm hoping this has helped you all, and yeah, thanks again for the support, guys. Take it easy, stay safe, and tight lines. Cheerio.